everyone, my name is Madison Hollin, and today I will be presenting the effects of new soccer teammates' transgender status and gender on college athletes' level of perceived fairness and comfort. The main finding from this study was that transgender athletes were rated significantly lower than cisgender athletes for rating levels of perceived comfort and fairness. Levels of perceived fairness had an interaction with gender. Trans women were rated significantly lower than cisgender women in comparison to ratings of transgender men compared to cisgender men. Ethical and scientific considerations surrounding the controversy amongst transgender athletes involves biological differences that could not be obtained through practice. These considerations are primarily focused on testosterone levels in male to female transitioning athletes. Ethical and scientific consideration amongst trans women is that they are required to have testosterone levels below 10 nanomoles per liter. The average healthy cisgender woman's testosterone levels average between 0 to 1.7 nanomoles per liter. The claim is that due to the testosterone cap of trans women being almost 10 times as high as cisgender women's natural testosterone level puts the cisgendered woman at a disadvantage when competing against trans women. For our method, 80 students were sampled from the Mount St. Joseph University biology and chemistry departments. They were shown a picture of an androgynous person and read the teammates' athletic and academic history. Students were asked to imagine that they were a soccer player and to rate how fair it would be to other teams for the person to compete against them on a scale of 1, very unfair, to 5, very fair. Then students were asked to rate how comfortable they would be with this person on their team on a scale of 1, very uncomfortable, to 5, very comfortable. After completing the questionnaire, participants were debriefed. I hypothesized that students would have a neutral rating for both questions in all conditions. Results on perceived levels of comfort showed the average rating for the transgender athlete was significantly lower than the cisgender athlete. If you look to the right, the chart shows that the average rating for the transgender athlete was a 3.58 compared to the cisgender athlete being a 4.5 on a scale of 1 being very uncomfortable to 5 being very comfortable. The results revealed no significant effect of gender status and no significant interaction between the athlete's gender and transgender status. Results on perceived levels of fairness is where we saw the most effect. The two-factor ANOVA revealed a significant effect of transgender status. The average rating for the transgender athlete was significantly lower than the ratings for the cisgender athlete. The results revealed that there was not a significant main effect of gender status, and the average rating for the male athlete was not significant compared to the female athlete. The data revealed a significant interaction. The effect of transgender status on ratings was dependent on the gender of the transgender athlete. The results from the simple main effects analysis showed that the transgender status did not have a significant effect rating for men. The average rating for the transgender male athlete compared to the cisgender male athlete was not significant. However, the simple main effects analysis showed the transgender status did have a significant effect rating for women. The average ratings for the transgender female athlete was significantly lower than that for the cisgender female athlete. To the right, you see I have a table of cell means. The mean ratings of the fairness is a function of gender and transgender status. You'll see whether or not the athlete identified as male or female and what their transgender status was, whether it be transgender or cisgender. The male transgender athlete was rated a 3.45 on average, compared to the cisgender male athlete was rated a 3.95. Whereas the female transgender athlete was rated a 2.5, whereas the cisgendered female athlete was rated a 4.6. Discussion and conclusions. The results are inconsistent with my hypothesis that MSJ students would have a neutral rating for both questions in all 4 conditions. I hypothesized this because the university promotes inclusion and diversity. Students rated transgender athletes lower than cisgender athletes on perceived levels of fairness and comfort. These findings suggest MSJ students face internal struggles when competing against transgender athletes regarding discomfort. These results also imply that students agree with previous researchers that claim it is unfair for transgender athletes to compete against cisgender athletes. There were flaws in this study. A photo of an androgynous person was shown, which may have confused students even when gender was mentioned. For future research, it is essential that participants fully understand the questionnaire. Future research may consider only sampling athletes instead of asking people to imagine that they were an athlete. That concludes our research on the effects of new soccer teammates' transgender status and gender on college athletes' levels of perceived fairness and comfort. I hope you found this study to be controversial to the field of psychology.